From the age of 2 onward, Donald St.Onge's formative years were spent in Putnam's Farrow Street neighborhood with sibling twins Andre and Albert, sister Denise, and some other close friends. For the most part, it was the usual activities of pickup games, adventures into the nearby woodlands, and the usual seasonal activities of preteen years. Until he was escorted home one evening by a local police officer after being caught pilfering a burnt-out house in the neighborhood. While some of his friends escaped detection, Don's father evoked the appropriate penalty for the kid who didn't get away. Sitting down was difficult for the next couple of days. Early education was at St. Mary's School, and then it was on to PHS. The first few years of Don's Putnam High career could be considered a squandered opportunity with limited academic achievement and activity engagement. But the proverbial light bulb gained a stronger glow as he neared graduation and started to consider possible career opportunities. Encouragement from high school staff to live up to his recognized potential and a job opportunity to experience the goings-on at Day Kimball Hospital in the ER set him on a determined medical career path as a male nurse that only strengthened and expanded as he mapped out his future. After his high school effort, an immediate college path was out of the question, but enlistment in the U.S. Navy, where he could pursue his medical aspirations, offered a promising alternative. Acceptance into the Hospital Corpsman School after basic training was followed by an assignment at the Portsmouth Naval Hospital in New Hampshire. Then came the order to ship out an obligatory tour of 15 months on the destroyer USS Dewey, bringing about a major decision. Don had begun dating Denise Favreau from Woodstock, although it had taken 3 requests for a date before she agreed to accompany him to a Halloween dance with his parents. The relationship blossomed to the point where future plans needed to be resolved. A hastily planned wedding and a short honeymoon were squeezed in prior to boarding the Dewey. Denise did make a trip across the pond to meet Don in the Spanish port of Valencia. As might be expected, she took charge and even made the hotel reservation. Unfortunately, she forgot the name of the hotel. An understanding cab driver who knew the city well eventually got them to their destination.
I need to go down to the boat. It's coming in. He doesn't know I'm coming. And we get down there, and sure enough, he's coming off the boat, and they're telling him, sit down, you know, you can't, but that's my wife, that's my wife. And of course, we hadn't been married that long. We got a cab, and they said, okay, where are you going? I said, I don't know. And they said, okay. And I realized I had a card with me, and it was the Plaza de Cadello, and it was the Hotel Excelsior, and that's where we spent our first Christmas.
Following his 4-year tour of duty, which included the Naval Hospital in Newport, Rhode Island, it was time to concentrate on his nursing career. Since Newport was also home to Salve Regina College and partnered with the Navy to offer a nursing program, the opportunity provided Don with his natural medical path. First stop was at the Newport School of Nursing, where, as a full-time student, he completed the program in 3 years, and at his graduation ceremony was presented with the Rose B. David Award for excellence in his chosen career. His first civilian job was as a registered nurse in ICU at Newport Hospital before accepting the first of many positions at Day Kimball Hospital. At DKH, he was eventually appointed nurse manager in the surgical unit. During this time, he also continued his studies at Salve, earning his Bachelor of Science degree in 1980 and then moved on to the University of Connecticut to earn a master's degree in 1984. In addition to serving as a member of the adjunct faculty in the graduate program of nursing at UConn, Don made stops at hospitals in Leominster, Mass. And Stafford Springs before returning for a lengthy stay at Day Kimball, where he eventually assumed the position of Senior Vice President for Administration. The return to his hometown also sparked a new interest, the political scene. Not being overly thrilled with the local administration at that period of time, rather than just complain, Don jumped in with both feet and was elected to the Board of Selectmen along with other members of the new young guard. His leadership skills did not go unnoticed, and he was soon encouraged to run for the position of mayor. The successful campaign resulted in a 2-year term, which is all that Don had promised. However, several accomplishments were achieved during that time. Putnam was in the early stages of its rebirth, from a mill town with too many open storefronts to an eclectic downtown where the current major concern is to find a parking place to frequent the new shops and restaurants. Putnam was about to become known as the antique capital of New England. To spotlight this new period of growth, the local business community, under Don's leadership, brought the Valley Railroad of Essex to the Putnam train station. The excursion brought hundreds of visitors to town to showcase what was the beginning of a major community transition. The area behind Putnam's National Guard Armory was a vast wasteland just waiting for appropriate usage. Under Don's leadership, and with the combined efforts of the Connecticut National Guard, the Putnam Department of Public Works, and local contractors, and at no cost to taxpayers, the area was cleared and leveled, and a new sports complex, aptly named St. Marie Greenhall Track and Field, was the result. As his medical and political experiences expanded, so did requests to serve on area committees and boards, whether it was to establish the Lions volleyball tournament, chair the capital campaign at Quinebaug Valley Community College, serve as president of the Northeast Chamber of Commerce, or a willingness to embarrass himself for the benefit of his community, was all part of Don's makeup.
And one of the things that I remember, which I thought was kind of, more embarrassing when I was very little, but then kind of endearing as I've gotten older, is that he has an impression of Donald Duck that he's very good at. So, the one way that he likes to sort of, entertain the smaller generation is by his Donald Duck impersonations.
Awards of recognition and appreciation have come from several sources, probably none more rewarding than the Alma D. Payne Award that was presented for his many years of dedication to Day Kimball Hospital, support of his local and cherished community, and the nursing profession in general. Along with Denise, relaxation at this juncture is found at his residence at Alexander's Lake, with the added task of keeping up with his grown children and grandkids. They tried retirement in Avon Park, Florida, to get away from the winter weather, but missing the activities of family brought them back north.
His dedication to his family, he wouldn't, there's nothing he wouldn't do for us. And he shows us every single day how much he loves us and his grandkids.
Daughters Melissa and Elizabeth still reside close enough to be constant visitors and provide updates on the doings of the grandchildren, Brian, Daniel, Landon, and Jacob. Don and Denise are members of Quintessent Golf Club and enjoy the occasional round together. While both have experienced success on the links, the trophy case definitely tilts in Denise's favor. An underlying purpose of the Wall of Honor is to remind future grads that much can be accomplished with a solid PHS effort and explored student activities. Don's path to this induction took a different route. There are times when maturity and goal setting might be delayed and future accomplishments and successes are realized later.
He always gives of himself. He would go back to the high school and talk about how he didn't do so well in school and ended up spending an extra year there, and then went into the service. But when he came back here, he would go back into the school and talk to the students at the high school and tell them how important it was to be part of the community, to make the most of themselves that they could. And I think a lot of people don't know that about him.
And this is a message that needs to reverberate just as loudly. When the realization of that future path ultimately becomes the driving force, and determination and perseverance follow with a vengeance, great results can be achieved. And Don St.Onge is solid proof of that as he assumes this rightful position on the Wall of Honor.